Your headliner truly needs no introduction. You know him, you love him. Ladies and gentlemen, give all the love you got to Josh Johnson!
It's great to be here with y'all. I'm very, very thankful that I even woke up this morning, because, you know, some people... we'll get to it. I wish I wasn't still scared of so much stuff. This feels unfair now. Like when you're a little kid and you're scared of like the monsters under your bed, and then your parents are nice enough to not say you're dumb. They're just like, oh, I'll check. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're like, I don't know, I heard something, and then I saw a scary movie one time 2 weeks ago, so maybe the thing from the movie is under the bed, and they're like, oh yeah, that could totally happen. Let me look. And they look under the bed and they come, they're like, nope, nothing there. You're fine, you're safe. And then I'm not gonna let anything happen to you. And then that's enough. Then you fall asleep, you go to bed, and it's fine. And then you get older and you realize, oh, there was never anything under the bed. There was never anything to be afraid of. And so you would think you would have less fear as you get older. But then you just weren't afraid of the right stuff yet. Like you weren't afraid for rent yet. Like it was like now I would trade. Now if there was a monster under the bed, I would like square up if it meant never being afraid of rent again. Like that, I'd take my chances, you know? It's a weird thing. I say this because I got really scared the other day, and it was the window is closed and the curtain was drawn, but it was one of those. It wasn't like a blackout curtain. It was one of the curtains where you can kind of see glimpses of what's happening through the window, and there was a bang on the window. And I screamed as soon as I heard the bang, and it was fine because I was like alone. You know what I mean? Like if we're all together, like let's say we're all like right now, and then there was a big bang, and I went, oh! Then that's bad because it shows you I would never like step up in a real situation. But if you're alone, you can be scared. It's fine. It makes more sense to be scared because you're alone. It's just me here. So if someone's gonna bang through the window and it's gonna come in here at me, then yes, I can be scared. So there was the bang, and then I screamed. And it was, whatever it was gone. Like it just banged, and then I saw the shadow of something, and it was gone. And then I saw what looked like a guy creeping shadow across the window. And this time I didn't scream, but I was genuinely terrified. I was like, what? Oh no. A man. And so then I stand up and I get a little bit closer to the window, and I'm even like getting a little, it's not like a perfect stance, but I'm like, and I know the window's closed, but in my head, I'm like, okay, if somebody's gonna creep at the window, they don't care there's a window there. They might bust through the window. And so then I pulled the curtain. I pulled it as fast as I could, because in my mind, if there is somebody right there and I pull the curtain fast enough, I can scare him. You know, like let's say he's trying to creep and break in, and then I'm like, ha! Like then... You never expect that when you're the burglar. You don't expect the element of surprise. And so I open it as fast as I can, and it was a bird. It was a bird. Its shadow was just like perfectly against the curtain, like it was a full man walking. And when I opened the window and I saw the bird, I realized even that first time, that had to be what banged against the window when I screamed. And then the saddest thing, the last realization was I was on the second floor. Like there was never There was never gonna be anybody standing there. We're up. I don't know but then as soon as I was like, ha, and then it did what I wanted. It scared the bird. The bird flew off. And so there was a part of me that was like, okay, that was dumb of me, but also like, yeah, what? You know what I mean? And then just as I was about to close the curtain, the bird flew back into the window harder this time. And I did scream again, because now it's on purpose. Like, now this bird wants something from me. And I'm scared he's gonna take it. I'm scared of so many things. I wish I was not. Like, some people, whether it's through enough perseverance or just like ignorance, are not scared of much. Like, you'll see people not be scared in a moment where you should be scared. I've had friends get in altercations with people who we both knew had a gun, and they still kept talking to this person like they didn't have a gun. And I was like, I can see the gun. Like, it's not in his hand, but it's on his person. I can see the gun. You should probably stop talking so reckless. I'm actually gonna back up. Like, you got it though. You tell him. Oh yeah, you get him. No, you got him. And you're right too. You're actually right. That's what's crazy, is that you're right, but the guy with the gun has the gun, so he's probably gonna be more right soon. No. It's oof. Terrified of things that I didn't even know could happen when I see them happen to someone else. Like, there are whole fears that I haven't walked around with my entire life, but then I'll see something happen to a person that I didn't even know could happen to anybody. And now I think about, what if that happened to me? Because I wouldn't handle it well. Whenever one of my fears comes to life, like whenever something I've been afraid of for a long time finally happens to me, I don't take it in stride, like, oh, well, it finally happened, and I survived, or whatever. I'm just laying there like, I knew it! I knew it was gonna happen, and it happened. Oh my God. Like the dude that had that run-in with that bison. I don't know if you've seen this, but in case you're not familiar, there was a guy. This is very frustrating for me, because somehow we live in such a dystopian online world that everything has to have a side. Every single thing has to have a side. A thing happens, and whether it happens between two or more people, or it just happens with a person in nature, or it's just a person enjoying their life and recording some of it, there has to be a side, and people have to fight. It's like a requirement to get on the internet. There was a time where in order to get online, you needed like a passcode or something that went with like a CD that you put into your computer or whatever. And now the requirement is I will fight with at least one person before I log off. Because people are fighting over this. Okay, there's a guy who's at a national park, and there was a bison at this national park. And I'll be honest with you right now, I didn't know what a bison was until this video. I knew what it was in theory. I had seen pictures of bison, but I was positive that they were all gone. Like, I thought it was like a woolly mammoth of America, and that there were no bison chilling right now. In fact, if I had seen a bison on like a road trip, I'd be like, y'all, I think that bear's sick. That bear doesn't look right. He crawling a little low, and I think his back is messed up. I've never seen a bison in person. And so then when I saw the video, I didn't know what this was immediately. I was like, yo, that thing from that never-ending story is brown now, and it's rustling around in the dirt. Somebody come get it. I didn't know. I didn't know that bison were still around. And so when I initially saw the bison in the video, I was like, okay, it's rustling around, whatever. Now, there's this guy who is an older guy, and I think he's with his grandkid or something, and he's walking with his grandkid, and I cannot stress how far away they were from this bison. They were so far away from the bison. We have a reputation in the United States, especially men, for wanting to go pet/be destroyed by an animal bigger than us. It's like one of our favorite things to do. Like I have not seen, personally, I have not ever seen a woman climb an enclosure in a zoo. It has always been a man every time. It's always been a man that, it's the one, it's like, it's weird. It's insane. It's the one time, because you will walk up to a man that's like trying to be hard, right? He's trying to be tough. And so you'll bring a puppy to a man. And the puppy will be looking at him with the puppy dog eyes. Puppy will even make a little noise, like, you know, whatever. And then he wants to act tough. Then we want to act like he don't want to pet the puppy. Then he's like, no, you don't get that out of here. I'm busy being hard right now, right? But then you'll take this same man, to a zoo. And he'll be like, I think that crocodile want a high five. I mean, he looking at me, I'm looking at him. I think he want a high five. And then this grown man, will find a way, squeezes in, finds a way, and gets in with the alligator. And then when he gets ragdolled, has the nerve to scream for help. That was not the case in this situation. These people were very far away from this bison, an animal which, once again, I cannot stress enough, I am mind blown exists. Bison look like it should be on Jurassic Park. Like, I will say, look, I'm not gonna put it out there as if there aren't any black zoologists, like any like American black zoologists. There definitely are. I'm just saying that as people, black people are very good at minding our business. And so I think that if all of zoology had been left up to us, there'd obviously be some breakdowns of, you know, species and like different things within the animal kingdom, like tiger, lion, you know, all the stuff like that. But I do think because of where we normally go and hang out, there would eventually be a categorization of dog and not dog. And I think that if I was in charge of zoology, I would be like, kids, back up, that's not a dog. This man walking with his grandchild stops and takes a picture of the bison. And sure, he's a bit older, so I'm sure it had the click sound on the phone when he was taking the picture. I'm positive that happened. But once again, I cannot stress enough how far away they were. There's no way that the bison heard, unless bison have dog hearing, maybe. But there's no way that this bison heard the click. These people are very far away, and you could see him taking it old. Like he just... takes the picture. Now, there's a big truck, like a big, what kind of looked like a Bronco, like this big white truck that passed by while this man was taking the picture right before. Then this truck passes by again. And this truck is clearly what like riled up the bison. Because then the truck drives by again, the bison is like, oh. But then as soon as the truck moves, all that's standing there, and not standing, but the only thing that the bison sees is the old man. Now, this man is already walking away. He's not waving at the bison. He's not like, come on over here. He's already walking away. And as he's walking away, the bison starts running towards him, which I'm assuming was loud, because then this dude turns around and then he starts running, right? And so then it's not a forest, but there's a small patch of trees that he runs into. I think he thought what I would think, which is like, there's no way this big old bison's gonna be able to maneuver around trees. So he ran within the trees. And then the trees did start moving. Started moving out of the way for the bison, and that's why I was like, oh, this is a dinosaur. Like, you can't, this is a hairy elephant over here. Y'all acting like bison normal, and it's not. This is insane. And so then this dude, we see him run out of the patch of trees with a cloud of smoke, because the bison is just over here moving everything. Then it runs out after him. He cuts around, and I think to myself, this guy's moving very well for an older gentleman. But I think a bison chasing you brings it out of you. He then runs back into the trees, and then the bison runs back into the trees just moving. And then finally he runs out, and I don't know if he got tired or if he just thought like, ooh, that left really got him. But the bison caught up to him and did like one of these, you know, just like bam, like that. And this man flew at least 10 feet. And I was watching on my phone like, that can happen? That doesn't seem fair. He was so far away. And I was watching people online argue. They were like, see, mess with Mother Nature and find out. And it's like, what? He was walking away. The only way I could even describe what happened is that the truck must have riled this bison up and then it attacked the man. Or the bison just really doesn't like how he looks in pictures. And then that's... You have other things creeping up, fears that I had but went away. There were things I was scared of that I thought we had handled. Like, you remember when United had the door open before the flight was over? United had plenty of flights where they were like, should we open the door now? Just to like keep everybody on their toes and everything. Just... You don't want to let people get too comfortable and stuff. You know, they're too used to getting their little sip of Coke and everything. Let's open the entire side. There was a flight to Greece on Ryanair where this window busted open and this dude was about to get sucked out the plane. Just fully sucked out, like in an action movie. I imagine it sounds like that. I don't even think you get to be like, what? Like, I think they just hear the sound of you like you just, like you came through a straw, like you just got sucked out. And he was saved. He didn't end up getting sucked out the plane. His wife grabbed him, held him by the feet, holding him in the plane. And then eventually some other people were able to pull him all the way back in. And I thought about that after it happened, and I was like, man, imagine, I wasn't even scared of this anymore. I had let it go. I was like, you know what, United, they fixed their whole thing. Now the door stays closed until you land. We can let it go. I don't have to be afraid of this anymore. And then this happened, and I can't even imagine what was going through his mind. Because also, you're out the plane. You're out the plane, still headed where you going. Imagine, you out the plane. Still, but you head the right direction. And then you getting sucked out, your wife holding you by your feet. One of the most undignified ways to be saved. Do you know what I mean? The only time I've seen somebody, well, not the only time, but there were a couple times I've seen people saved, like their actual lives were saved, but it was in a way that was like, oh, maybe you shouldn't have helped me. One time I was walking with my friends, we were in high school. Was walking with my friends, and one of them stepped out, and he just wasn't paying attention. And it wasn't even like, I didn't even grow up in an era where you were like constantly on your phone. So this was just him genuinely like daydreaming, not paying attention. And he steps out into traffic. And now there's a car that's about to whiz by because this car was also speeding. So he wasn't completely wrong. The light was about to change, but it hadn't changed yet as this guy's speeding. And so our other friend sees him and grabs him just like out of pure instinct. Like you have those friends that you know from the time you're in high school, they'll be good dads. It was like that. It was just like a night, like, yip, like just pulled him back, right? Just grabbed as much of him as he could and pulled him back. Saved his life. Like, undoubtedly. Like, his next step was going to be in traffic enough that this car was going to hit him and at least, like, crush his leg or something. Saved his life. But when he pulled him back, the only thing he could really get a hold of was his underwear. So he really, like... And he was strong, too. So man was over here hanging... suspended by his underwear. Life saved, life ruined. Because everybody saw it. We had just got out of school. Everybody's just watching. And I think that feet is a close second. I think that feet just big. Because if you're hanging out of the window and somebody's holding just your feet, and I'm sure because your head's out the window, nobody can luckily hear you scream. Because those have got to be some epic screams. Because you are earning this scream. You're outside the plane. Even the most toxically masculine men would be screaming right now. This is when you're supposed to go, you know? You're outside of the plane. Every type of scream you could scream, he was screaming. Because his head's out the plane. He's not just outside where he's going fast, because planes are fast. He's outside at like whatever, 500 miles per hour. It's also cold because you're up there. So there's also the culture. I don't know if you ever had somebody, you know, as a prank or something, put like an ice cube down your back. And you get the... And mix that with the terror of maybe losing your life. And you... No one has any idea how he was screaming because it's so loud, because the sounds of everything getting sucked out the plane, like all the air getting sucked out the plane, stuff like that, and air coming back in, and the sound of the plane going all fast and stuff. It's too much. It's already too much. So you can't hear him. And that's good for him. Because I guarantee, held him by his feet. Other people came, saved this man's life, and I thought to myself, if that happened to me, even if nobody heard the screams, if that happened to me, if your wife saved your life by holding on to your feet for like a long time, using all her strength to hold you, because you're about to get, remember, never forget. If that happened to me, I'm telling you right now, when we land, I gotta file for divorce, all right? You got to. You have to. No. That's dishes the rest of your life. That's trash the rest of your life. That's vacation the rest of your life. You can't imagine. Now, there's no argument that can be had. Anytime you have something to say against what she says, you're like, oh, my arms are so tired from that time that I held your skinny legs, slipped on. I would have held your legs, but they were so skinny, they slipped right down to the feet. I had to hold on by your feet while you were outside the plane. No. The only way we could stay together is if I save your life like 2 days later. Like... I don't know if y'all know Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson is this billionaire who got famous trying to biohack his way to immortality, or at least trying to live like 200 some years. Because there's always been that thing floating around online that the person that's going to live to be 200 has already been born. And it is a testament to modern medicine. It's a testament to how far we've come, knowledge of the body, and longevity in general, right? And Brian Johnson started out simple enough. He was just like, let me live as like clean and healthy as possible to try to get my biological age inside my body down. I think he was 40, and they ran a bunch of tests on him, his blood, everything like that, and he was, I don't remember the number, but I think he was like 52 or something, because he'd been living so poor, eating so poor and everything, that he was just running his body down. And so he was like, let's at least get that on track. That's a thing you can hopefully control, and that's a good thing. I want everybody to be able, have the opportunity at least to be as healthy as possible, right? And so he starts living better, starts like doing all the biohacking things, and then he takes it to an extreme. He takes it to like that weird 4 a.m. wake up, workout. I'm vegan now, but also I'll like drink these certain supplements. I'm taking like 142 supplements a day to make sure that the body gets all the possible nutrients it can get in a day. I'm like really watching my calorie intake, because if I eat too much, then that's bad. But if I don't eat enough, then I'm not at the right deficit to build muscle, because you need muscle for your longevity and everything. And then he gets his biological age all the way down to like 34. They run his tests again. They run all of his stuff. And people are like, wow, this guy is maybe onto something. And there's documentaries about him. There's stuff that he's put out. And some of it is weird, admittedly. Some of it's very weird, because it starts very like altruistic. I want to live a life that is so healthy and clean that it makes a blueprint for other people, that if they follow it, they can also live a life that, you don't have to say goodbye to people too soon. And then he started doing like blood transfusions with his son, because his son had younger blood than him and everything. And I was like, oh, you lost me. That was, oh man. I hate when somebody's on to something and then they do something a little too weird, and you got to be like, uh-oh, yeah, that's bad. It's like the third week in a cult. Do you know what I mean? Like those first 2 weeks, everybody having fun, and then that third week, somebody says something that makes you go, And so anyway, this dude starts posting his sleep score, but he's saying things like, this is what it's supposed to look like. Why aren't y'all serious about your sleep? You need to get serious about your sleep. You need to sleep all 8 hours, and you gotta start eating right. No more processed food. Are y'all out of your minds and everything? And I don't know. It was one of those things where it was like, you said you set out to help people. Why are you asking these questions like you don't know? And maybe he doesn't know. He's a billionaire, so maybe he has no idea. It's like, why aren't you sleeping a full 8 hours? Like, I don't know, because they have work? Like, that's like the number one reason. Like, I think a lot of health influencers act like you don't want to take care of yourself, but then they forget that they have all day. They literally have all day. Like, you're a billionaire, so you try to live forever can be a side hustle. Like, that's... Anyway, I bring it up because he did a bunch of other stuff. A bunch of other things that took it out of, like, truly science-based controlled experiments where we can learn something from him. And then he took something, I don't even know what this thing is called, but he basically took something to like mutate his DNA, because it's also about how your cells replicate as a factor of getting older. And so he was trying to put this thing in him that would change the way that his cells replicated, maybe keep him younger, longer, and everything. And there was a doctor that said as soon as he did that, he wiped clean the slate that he had created of following him through research. It's like, this is useless now, because now you've added this other thing that not only we don't know if people should do, but it's not like everyone can afford to do. And then he blocked that doctor, and then he started blocking a bunch of doctors, which is usually not when you're on the right track. And this dude is in this pursuit to live forever through all of these like unconventional means. I'll inject myself with whatever. I'll take whatever blood transfusion you say. I'll do all this stuff. You don't need to do any of that. Just try crack. Like that, like, there's a lot of old crackheads. Like, I don't know what's in crack, but like, I don't know. That crap keep you going. Like, I don't know. It seems like it gives people energy and everything. I don't know why he didn't just try crack. You're willing to try everything. You're willing to mutate your DNA. Crack is not that crazy. And then this dude, his girlfriend's Australian, right? And so he takes a flight to Australia. But you can imagine when you're following this strict of a diet and regimen of sleep and meals and workouts and everything, that even something like a 16-hour flight, it's going to knock you off your feet a little bit, but it sent him into a tailspin. He said something about how this trip to Australia set him back like 9 years or something like that. Which is funny. It's kind of like, all right, you were doing all that bragging about sleep. Look at yourself. Look at yourself right now. Now, I've flown to Australia many times, and I've always felt terrible when I landed, but now it's nice to know I have some scientific backing that this is tearing up my body. Yeah. And then on top of that, he's just announced that, he does all these things, and he's very forthcoming with whatever he does, whether it's this mutation or it's the blood transfusions with his son and everything. He's got a lot of like, I won't say acclaim, but just a lot of social media attention around him from it. And once again, he was very honest. He came out and said that his stomach was eating itself. Which, all right, you're trying to live forever, and now it seems like you're doing the opposite. Like this, I don't think this would ever happen if you had just tried crack. I think that, because what is all that money really worth? Like, I'm not acting like money doesn't matter and doesn't take care of things. We all need to get by. I'm just saying that much money. If you have $1 billion, what is it worth if you can't live another second? You can't trade any of that for more time. And time's clearly all you want. So it's going to be more about how you spend your time, what you do with your life. I think that's what makes it all mean something. I think it's why sometimes you could look at your great grandparent who's on their deathbed and they actually seem ready to go. Like there's a possibility to have peace with death because you've lived a full life. And it's a hard concept when you're always taught to like get more, do more, be this next thing. There's always like some sort of rat race we're all in. There's always a thing that we're chasing. But outside of that, like when it's just you with your family and everything that matters to you, I think that you could reach a place of real understanding and how the cycles of life are supposed to work. None of us should be here forever. I think that's why you try to make the world better, so you can pass it on to other people and give them a better world and take your rest and everything. What is all that money worth if it doesn't get you more time? Lindsey Graham had money. He did. Lindsey Graham had plenty of money. Man, that was a surprise. When I woke up and saw that Lindsey Graham had passed away, I was like, that's a very weird way to spell Mitch McConnell. No, this is very odd. Because Lindsay wasn't even sick. They even said a sudden illness took him. And meanwhile, Mitch McConnell's been in the hospital for like a month. He's been in the hospital a good while. And there's been all this speculation that Mitch McConnell's not with us anymore. And there was even a release today of an article I saw in the Washington Post where it was him explaining what's been happening. But up until then, and even now, people are speculating. They're like, nah, he gone. We live in an odd country in an odd time. Because in other countries, if their leader is like gone, they can tell people. They can be like, oh, he's not here. But here, we end up speculating. We're like, so are y'all just not telling us? And they're like, no, why would you even, he's fine. Even the way that people talked was weird. Like, I understand that if someone has a conspiracy that they've laid out, that it's very hard to refute that conspiracy because now you need evidence that there is no evidence, which is impossible. Like, that's one of the most frustrating things when you deal with a conspiracy theorist is that you cannot provide evidence that there is no evidence of the thing that is not happening. That being said, you could have taken a picture. You could have taken, I mean, like, you could have taken a picture. I mean, he doesn't have to look good. He never looks good. He never looks good in any picture. So it would actually make us believe it more if you took a picture of him in the hospital bed and he was like that, like, we'd be like, all right, he's still there. Like, he's at least in the bed. We know he's at the hospital. But they were so secretive. It was weird. It was very, very weird. And then people were like, oh, actually, they're just trying to hide the fact that he's gone so that they don't have to run a special election. Because if they run a special election, then Thomas Massey will run. Thomas Massey might break up the GOP vote. And there was just all this speculation. And then there were whole conspiracies that went into it. Meanwhile, if you are Mitch McConnell, I think I would, I'm just speaking for myself, I think I would low-key start to be pretty offended that people so easily thought I was dead. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hope to grow old. I genuinely hope to grow old. But when I get old, I'd like to remain at least spry enough that people won't be like, we haven't heard from him in 2 hours. I think he might... I don't know, you saw him last time. Because to be fair to people's speculation and their concerns, Mitch McConnell has not looked well for a long time. He hasn't been well for a long time. You remember in like 2023, and he was trying to talk. Y'all saw that man lock up in the middle of talking. And I don't even understand Mitch McConnell's voice. I don't. It's like if a princess kissed a frog and the frog became a senator. Like, it's just like... the way he talks is like... well, you've heard him just like... It's like... That's not a Kentucky accent. Like, I know people from Kentucky. I don't know a single one of them. It just sounds like he's eating something that's not delicious. Like, every time he talks about... Yeah. Yeah, y'all saw him in 2023. He was over here mid-speech. Mid-speech was like... And we all wondered for a second, not since Zoom have I seen somebody freeze like that and wonder if it was me. Like, I was like, is it my connection or what? What happened? And they were like, oh, the senator's fine. I'm like, all right, define fine. And so, yeah, this dude goes to the hospital, gets rushed to the hospital from his home, and then everyone's speculating, saying that his wife flew to China, and that she flew to China, and that the other family members deleted their socials accounts, so that way nobody could be like a present next of kin. So then, like, the governor would have to go there and see that he was like incapacitated or had passed away, to then let the public know. And I'm just like, all right, I don't know, it just seems like a lot of work. It seems weird that you wouldn't just have him like take a picture. This doesn't have to be this cryptic. And then everyone was saying that they talked to him on the phone. Scott Jennings was over here. I talked to him for about 17 minutes this morning. We talked about Ukraine. I was like, look. That might even be true. That might be true. What he's saying might be true. But if I'm in the hospital, please don't call me to talk about work. Like, I'm literally in the hospital. Why are you calling me being like, what you think about Ukraine today? I don't know. That's very weird. And even now, there's been this statement coming out that, he says, actually, I had a fall, and then I got some pneumonia, and I was briefly unconscious. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not a doctor. Briefly unconscious, sound dead. That does sound dead. Why'd you even include that part? We clearly didn't know anything you didn't tell us, so why'd you tell us that? I know we want information, but that sound briefly unconscious. When? You didn't even say when. Briefly unconscious. Rushed to the hospital because of a fall. But then he also got pneumonia. It's just a lot of stuff at once. It's like you fell, and then you sprinkle some pneumonia on it. Just be like, I fell. We'll believe you. You fall a lot in front of us. Like, falling is actually his best alibi. I don't know if y'all been watching Mitch McConnell like I've been watching Mitch McConnell, but he fall a lot, right? And one of my favorite Mitch McConnell falls was... No. One of my favorite falls was the one where he had both hands up in the air, and you could tell he was trying to save it for too long. Like, he fell like a lot of men like Mitch McConnell, especially when you're full of pride and everything, you're like, I'm not about to fall today. I can already say, I'm not gonna fall, right? I'm not gonna fall. And so then they either try to balance themselves or they try to like lean back or something, but then it makes the fall weirder. Like, they don't get hurt, but they're just like, they fell in a way that wasn't the normal path down. And so he was like, oh. And then he went all the way down. And I was like, yeah, all right, that was pretty good. That was like top notch. Because Mitch McConnell was hospitalized for a fall. And they said that they were still doing tests, running a bunch of tests on him to see what caused the fall. And I read that in the Washington Post. They were doing tests to see what caused the fall. What tests are you doing? Because unless you're dropping an apple out of a tree, we know what caused the fall. It was gravity that caused the fall. You're testing falls? Then he doesn't need a physician, he needs a physicist. What caused the fall? Unacceptable. We just over here with Congress people we don't even know are alive. We ask so little. We literally ask so little. It's getting sad. You should know, by the way, I've been traveling a lot. I've been in Europe, been into some other places. I plan to go to a few more places, at least by next year. And the way, they are dogging us out. The way they talk about us is so... I'm not like a nationalist type person or anything, but the way they talk about us is unacceptable. Like, there is... Do you know what I mean? right? Like I'm not even a hardcore, I feel like one of the things that we've let happen online and so in doing, in real life, is that we have let certain people have the idea of things. So then there are people who are the only people that can be branded patriotic are somehow conservative. And I don't think that makes sense at all. And I think that's a thing that progressive people, liberal people that have let happen in a way, because to criticize your country doesn't mean you don't love it. If anything, you're trying to make it better. And so I think that there's been this weird thing where if you have an unabashed love for everything America has done and an excuse for everything that America does, then you're a patriot. And if you in any way are saying there are things that we could do better, then you hate this country or something. And I think that's a thing that we just have to recognize what we're doing in the moment when it happens, because to call out something doesn't mean that you hate it. You probably love it. You probably want it to be as good as it can possibly be. Whenever they make a new iPhone, they still sell the old one. They're not like, this was trash. It's like, they would love for you to buy both so they could break both and get you to buy the new third one. But yeah, there's a weird thing with us where one of our senators could be God. And we're like, yeah, I guess he won't be coming to work on Monday. We expect so little. And I've seen this thing happen online. I don't know if this is... I look at like witchcraft the way I look at astrology, where I'm like, I don't really know anything about it. I don't mess with it, but like it's over there, right? And apparently people have been casting spells. Apparently people have been casting spells on like, Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham and stuff. And there's a part of me that's like, okay, but like, if that works, can you charge that? I don't think you can. Like, I think that we got rid of because we were so wrong with Salem, we got rid of all the witchcraft laws. And so now but I was scrolling and somebody was like doing a spell and they had a picture of Mitch McConnell. I was like, oh. Okay. I just don't know. I don't know what to do with it. Because I know a couple of witches. Like I know, like that's what they say. I'm not calling them witches. They're like, I'm a witch. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what that means, but like, hope you're having a great day. And you have good thoughts about me. Because I don't know anything about it, right? And I don't know. I don't do anything like that. Like I don't know if I believe in it, but I believe in it enough not to mess with it. Does that make sense? It's like you're not fully superstitious, but you're like, oh, let's not chance it. Because I have a couple of friends, yeah, they're witches, and I don't know though. This is gonna sound bad, but it'll sound however it sounds. I don't believe their spells work because they can't cook. So it's like... They can't, like I've had it, they can't. And it's, if you can't follow a recipe, how you following a spell? I'm just saying, I've had it. I've had one of them made a tomato soup. This is the worst tomato soup I ever had. It's tomato soup, by the way. Tomato soup. Tomatoes. What is the recipe? You know what I mean? Like PB&J is more complicated than tomato soup. I think if you put a tomato in a blender, you kind of have it. Like it was crazy. It was this bad. So I tried tomato soup, and what they clearly did, maybe they thought they were mixing things up or something, but what they clearly did was they put this is so insane. They put a couple of raw grape tomatoes in the tomato soup. And so now I'm sitting here eating what got the consistency of salsa. I'm just eating salsa. I've never had to chew my tomato soup before. I'm over here chewing my tomato soup, sound like Mitch McConnell, like, oh. And now people are speculating about the picture because there's apparently, I don't know. There's this picture that was released along with the statement about how he was doing and everything. And in the picture, so his wife is in the picture with him. But I thought his wife flew to China. And nobody talked about her flying back. And then he's very conveniently holding a newspaper. I never want to have to prove this bad. So then he's taking a picture with his wife and they hold the newspaper. And already people are like, this is AI. This is... And I don't know if that's true. Because you can't really read the newspaper. And then people are, what's funny is that people are using AI summaries to see what's on that newspaper. But because AI summaries about newspapers are notoriously wrong, the AI keeps giving different dates for what the newspaper can be. So anyone who thinks the picture is fake and AI generated is like going with it now because AI told them to, which is its own psyop. And then there are other people that are like, well, no, this is just weird because I think this is an old picture because it reminds me of a picture where they were both wearing the same thing years ago, like 3 years ago. And then also there were people that were like, well, if you've been in the hospital for a month for a fall and pneumonia and you were kind of unconscious for a while, why aren't you in like a hospital gown? Like he's just in like a buttoned up shirt. I don't know if Mitch McConnell is alive or not. But I am positive at some point this weekend, he had a conversation with Lindsey Graham on another plane. Like, I think that's so clear. Because they're not even taking him home yet. He's still like not at home. And they say they've moved him from the hospital to a rehabilitation center. And in my head, I was like, where did he fall from the sky? Like that doesn't sound good. A rehabilitation center. The man that got thrown by the bison isn't in a rehabilitation center. Do you know what I mean? The man whose feet were held by his wife isn't in a rehabilitation center. It's a very weird thing. Because, you know, Lindsey Graham, at least for the GOP, was a real team player. And there were people that were speculating for a minute that maybe he died to distract from the fact that McConnell had died. You know what I mean? Like... No, there were people that said that, like, I could see Lindsey doing something like that, where he's like, I got y'all. Yeah. But like I said before, people they absolutely love to fight online. There were people immediately, as soon as the news came out, like, you know, once again, Washington Post, Lindsey Graham passed away at 71, which also, 71. Huh. I don't know how old I thought Lindsey Graham was. But 71 seemed off. I don't know if I thought he was older than that or younger than that, but 71 seemed, okay. And you saw the post, Lindsey Graham passed away at 71 years old. And then there were people online right underneath it, commenting right underneath it, yay, you know, whatever, right? No, there were people that were like immediately, like, yeehaw, you know, whatever. And then there were people underneath being like, I can't believe there are people celebrating the death of this man that's sick. These people are sick, right? And I guess this is my thing. Because people quickly made it, obviously, because he was a politician, a left-right thing or a Dem Republican thing, and then people started dunking on people with, like, when Robert Mueller passed and Trump was, like, good, you know, like, all these different things. And I don't know. I don't celebrate that Lindsey Graham passed away. I'm not celebrating. I just think you can take an honest assessment of a person's life. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like jumping for joy. It's just I'm not going to lie about who he was and the things that he did. I'm not celebrating. But I'm just taking note of everything that happened. Do you know what I mean? Like we do this thing sometimes when someone passes, where you try to canonize them because they're not here anymore, and you don't want to speak ill of the dead, but you also shouldn't lie. You know, they say if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, but then no history would get told. Lindsey Graham, oof. If you look at his voting record, and if you look at his words, I mean, the way that Lindsey Graham spoke about people who no one can deny were in absolute dire straits. The way Lindsey Graham spoke about bombing people, the way he spoke about death and war. Yeah, I don't celebrate that Lindsey Graham is dead because I'm not Lindsey Graham. That's something he would do. You know? It's a weird thing. I've watched it many times where someone passes, someone that we knew did a lot of harm to a lot of people. And now because we feel bad, there's some sort of survivor's guilt. We're here and they're not. So then we don't want to make an honest account of what their life added up to. It's like going to a drug dealer's funeral. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, all right, everybody's crying, y'all know it, but like, oh, he kind of tore up the community a little bit. Like, I don't know. Like, all of a sudden, I'm wrong for being like, yo, he's not in heaven. Like, this is... Stop. What are y'all doing? Like, I'm not going to celebrate. I'm literally there. I'm not going to celebrate that he's dead, but I'm also not going to be like, oh, no, who would have thought? And I think sometimes being honest about someone seems harsh, but that's only if you've lived a devastatingly damaging life. But yeah, it's a very weird thing to think that it's gonna be Mitch McConnell. And it was Lindsey Graham. Do you know what I mean? Because they said he was unconscious. Mitch McConnell even admits he was unconscious. And I think that while he was unconscious, I'm not saying it like I know it for a fact. I'm just throwing it out there. That maybe while he was unconscious, he did pass away, and they just don't want to say it. And I think maybe when he passed away, he had a conversation. Maybe. He had a conversation where he was like, look, don't take me yet. I got somebody you gonna love.
When I